Welcome back to High Stakes. Today, we will be discussing the following NFL matches that is happening on Sunday, August 13, 2023. We will be providing our team, total and prop picks for the day. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you want access to our premium picks, you can check out our Patreon page. You can find the link to our Patreon page in the description and comments section below. Kansas City Chiefs vs New Orleans Saints. Take the Saints to cover. And here is why. Kansas City managed to shake off regular season losses to both Buffalo and Cincinnati to earn the top seed in the AFC postseason. The Chiefs then went on to win the Super Bowl as they downed the Eagles with a fourth-quarter rally for their second Lombardi Trophy in 4 seasons. Kansas City had some shuffling of faces in the offseason, though the key components of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are still there, as is tight end Travis Kelce. The Chiefs lost Orlando Brown Jr. to the Bengals via free agency, while bringing in Jawaan Taylor, Jaguars, and Donovan Smith, Buccaneers, to be the bookends on the offensive line. Kansas City has to revamp the receiver room, as well as Juju Smith-Schuster, Patriots, and Mecole Hardman, Jets, left as free agents. Meanwhile, Kadarius Toney suffered a knee injury on the first day of training camp and remains out. The team hopes he'll be ready to play on opening night against the Lions next month. There's likely no chance to see Patrick Mahomes on the field here, given his familiarity with the offense and read system. He completed 435 of 648 passes for 5,250 yards, with 41 touchdowns against 12 interceptions, while adding 358 yards plus 4 scores on the ground. With Chad Henne retired, the team brought in Blaine Gabbert to be the backup quarterback. Meanwhile, Shane Buechele, who has spent the last 2 seasons on the practice squad, will get a chance to prove that he's worth a roster spot this season. Chris Olajuwon, a 7th-round pick by Pittsburgh last season, is likely a camp arm at best. Clyde Edwards-Helaire gets a chance to resurrect his career after injuries knocked him out last season. With Isaiah Pacheco, 170 carries, 830 yards, 5 TD, still recovering from off-season surgeries on his shoulder and hand still not cleared for contact, rookie Deneric Prince gets a chance to showcase his abilities as well. Justin Ross, Sky Moore and Rashee Rice are among the young receivers that have to make an impact early on in preseason in order to move up a less than imposing depth chart. The easy answer would be to side with the Chiefs if this was a regular season game. But Kansas City will play Mahomes on 1 maybe 2 drives in this game. I would expect to see him rarely throw the ball as to avoid injury. The team will most likely not score much with him on the field. That means the Chiefs will need Gabbert or Buechele to score some points, which I highly doubt happening. I think the new team boost from Carr will see him slinging it around along with Winston, who has former starting quarterback confidence. The Saints will get the win. New Orleans needs a lot more of their starters on the field during preseason to gel and get ready for the new year. The Chiefs really don't need much of that due to their experience and star players. Our total pick is over 37.5 points, and here is why. New Orleans struggled to get solid quarterback play last season, and it led to them finishing 7-10 and tied for second in the NFC South, 1 game behind Tampa Bay for the top spot. It was an offseason of overhaul for the Saints as gone are Andy Dalton, Mark Ingram, Jarvis Landry, Deont Hardy, Marcus Davenport, Caden Ellis, David Onyemata, Bradley Roby, Chris Harris Jr., Justin Evans and PJ Williams from last year's squad. For a preseason game, points are usually at a premium as teams are struggling to learn new concepts and they are playing a bunch of new players. But the experience at the quarterback position for both teams gives me the feeling that the over will hit. Carr and Winston will want to sling the ball around the field to showcase their skills to the fans and coaching staff. Buechele does have something to prove as he wants to make the active roster. The ball will get thrown, and I think that will mean points or really good field position for the other team. San Francisco 49ers vs Las Vegas Raiders. Take Las Vegas Raiders money line. And here is why. These preseason games actually pose a lot of value for the 49ers as they have a variety of positions that need to be sorted out heading into the new season. The spotlight will of course be on the quarterback position, as the 49ers have probably the most notable competition for the starting job. Will Mr. Irrelevant build on his outstanding rookie year? Or will it be time for Trey Lance to assume his position as QB1 after a devastating injury last season? Only time will tell as the 49ers have a very difficult decision on their hands. Outside of the quarterback position, the 49ers offense is pretty much locked in with Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, and Brandon Ayuk all set to return. Unfortunately for the 49ers, this is meaningless without a quality quarterback, especially in this day and age, with guys such as Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts dominating the position in the game. Regardless, whoever assumes the position for the 49ers will have one of the best situations in football, given their pieces on offense and Kyle Shanahan calling plays. The 49ers defense was known for terrorizing offenses last season, but will they be able to reproduce this in the upcoming season? They are returning a majority of their players on the defense end, however, we saw the wheels begin to fall off the bus towards the end of the season as fatigue set in and they faced more quality competition. A big area of improvement for them will be in the secondary. The 49ers will have to find some ball hawks or a new scheme to help them limit downfield passing and feed into their stout defensive front. If they can improve in the secondary, there is no telling the benefits that the defensive line and Nick Bosa will gain when it comes to the pass rush and pressuring opposing quarterbacks. Their defense was a staple for them last season and will likely continue to be so as they sort out the kinks in debatably the league's best defense. With such a close spread, there is no point in taking the Raiders' spread without sprinkling in their money line. It is worth noting that these teams have participated in joint practices and 7v7s this past week as both teams prepare for their first preseason game. More importantly, in these 7v7s the 49ers have been referred to as sloppy and out of sorts by a variety of the league's top Twitter fingers. The San Francisco quarterbacks combined for 6 interceptions in the 7-on-7 and 11-on-11 work this week, with Brock Purdy and Trey Lance accounting for a majority of those interceptions. Also worth noting, the 49ers defense wasn't overpowering either as Garoppolo and the Raiders sustained efficient drives throughout the scrimmage. This combination of turnovers and lackluster defense from the 49ers will not bode well for them moving forward, especially in their first game shortly after these developments. Expect heavy usage from Lance and Darnold in the preseason game as they battle for QB2 and likely throw a handful of interceptions in the process. For these reasons, I am confident in taking the Raiders to win this game. Our total pick is over 35.5, and here is why. Taking the over in this game for a couple of reasons. With the 49ers defense struggling to start the preseason and the fact that this is a preseason game, expect it to be pretty high scoring. We likely won't see any starters on either defense, and if we do, it will be for very limited snaps. With that being said, the Raiders' defense was already expected to struggle, but with new developments that the 49ers' defense has struggled as well, this does not bode well for the total, and we will likely see it increase as we get closer to kickoff. We know the 49ers have one of the best defenses in football, even in their secondary with the QB battle between Lance and Darnold, along with other players such as Elijah Mitchell and newly acquired wideouts. On the other hand, the Raiders' offense has already been noted as looking efficient in their 7-on-7 and 11-on-11 scrimmages against the 49ers and will be in a similar situation as they look to settle in their new quarterback and determine who will be around him. Expect this game to be more offense-oriented for both teams as they both have to determine who will be under center for them come week 1. For these reasons, I am confident in taking the over for this game.